Starting off with the surface analysis chart, we can see low pressure systems across California, Utah, and Wyoming, as well as in Alabama and off the East Coast where there seems to be a tropical storm. High pressure systems can be noted in Washington, Arizona, and Colorado. There's light and moderate rain across North Carolina to Texas. The orange dashed lines represent troughs. Here we can see wind going southwest through the southeast, high humidity off the west coast and around the southeast, and a bit around Minnesota. 15,791 feet higher, we still see humidity around the southeast and around the tropical storm off the east coast. But now we also see humidity in the west, in Texas, and in North Dakota. We can also note strong wind blowing northeast across the northwest and east across North Dakota. Looking across the whole United States, we can see strong wind from the southwest going through the northwest and Minnesota and North Dakota area into Canada. The strongest winds will be in the pink. What is most important to note are the areas with blue, because that is where there could be thunderstorms, especially noting the biggest chunks of blue over and around the tropical storm and in the southwest corner of North Dakota. General thunderstorm risk across the southern states and up through the southern tip of California, the bottom half of Nevada, most of Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and partially in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. We can see that marginal risk up in the north, surrounding the slight risk in North Dakota and the top of Minnesota. In the red, we can see IFR between Mississippi and Alabama, in South Carolina, and off the west coast. In purple, we can see mountain obscurations in Oregon and Washington, and over in Tennessee and North Carolina. In light blue, we can see icing around Nevada, Southern California, Arizona, and Colorado, between New Mexico and Texas, and over in the southeast. In both yellow and green, we can see turbulent areas in the west and east corners of the country, and along the east coast from Maine to North Carolina, the turbulence in green being high turbulence. Going from west to east, clear skies from San Francisco to Oregon, light turbulence in Idaho and Colorado, a report of light ice in Colorado as well. Light to moderate turbulence in Nebraska, light turbulence in East Texas, Missouri, and Indiana, moderate to severe turbulence in Michigan, reports of light to moderate and light turbulence in North Ohio, light icing in Tennessee and North Carolina, reports of overcast cloud covers around the southwest, and reports of light turbulence down the east coast in New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Here we can see the freezing levels over the United States. Over in the northwest corner, the freezing level is at 12,000. Across California, Nevada, the frontier states, up to the northwest, freezing level is at 16,000. And up in the northeast, the freezing level is at 12,000. Grand Forks Airport is at 91 Fahrenheit, dew point is 78 Fahrenheit, wind is from the southwest at about 15 knots. Sea level pressure is written as 103 here, so decoded the sea level pressure at Grand Forks is 1010.3 millibars. Grand Forks is currently in the -5 to 5 range, but with the wind we saw coming from the southwest, it's important to note the patch of blue south of Grand Forks showing 5 to 20, and that little patch of green showing 20 to 25, because over 20 means light rain, so Grand Forks, just based off this, might be getting some precipitation soon. Grand Forks Airport, the 7th at 23:53 Zulu time. Winds from 200 at 14 knots, gusting 24 knots. 10 statute miles visibility. Clouds scattered at 5,000 feet. Temperature 32 Celsius. Dew point 26 Celsius. Pressure 29.83. Remarks: Grand Forks has a precipitation sensor. Peak wind from 200 at 26 knots. Time of peak wind 23:04. Sea level pressure 1009.9. Ceiling 1,000 to 3,000 feet and or visibility 3 to 5 miles around Houston, Texas, Alabama, the coast and a bit off the coast of North Carolina, and along the west coast from about Bodega Bay, California to Nia Bay, Washington. The dashed green lines running across the United States and forming a circle around Iowa indicate freezing level above mean sea level. The blue symbols with arrows pointing into the yellow dashed circles around Minnesota, Northern California, and the coast of North Carolina indicate moderate turbulence. There's a jet stream across the northwest cutting across Washington and going into Canada, and a tropical storm off the east coast. The red lines indicate cumulonimbus or thunderstorm clouds. You can see them around the tropical storm, across the south, and most importantly, in the North Minnesota and North Dakota area. Everywhere that is in color has at least a 10% chance of thunderstorm, with the tip of Florida, the area around Amarillo, Texas, and the Minnesota and North Dakota area having a 100% chance of thunderstorm in the next 12 hours. The areas of the country in orange have a chance of having thunderstorms, with Arizona, South Dakota, North Dakota, and most of Minnesota having a slight chance, and the green part of Minnesota having a moderate chance of thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. This is a hazardous weather outlook for Grand Forks that says there will be thunderstorms spreading over us through the night and into Sunday morning, hail up to 2 inches, and winds up to 75 miles per hour. Excessive rainfall and localized flooding will be the primary threats. All of this is possible again Sunday afternoon and Wednesday night, except the hail on Sunday would be 1.5, not 2 inches. Looking at the top, we see that on July 8th in local time, we should expect thunderstorms in the vicinity from 12 a.m. to 10 a.m. From 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., there will be thunderstorms with light rain. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., wind from 210 at 7 knots, visibility at least 6, and scattered clouds at 5,000 feet AGL. Thanks for watching, and don't fly in the upcoming thunderstorms.